Good evening. Tonight, we investigate a silent crisis in our classrooms, the teaching of art. In a social environment where students are actively seeking their own identity, many argue our schools are failing them. Culturally, art influences major trends and personal identity, yet our current educational system focuses on exam over creativity. Students are often forced into a memorial study, memorizing names and dates, which disconnects them from their own creativity energy. We cross now to Sofia Andrea at a local high school for more.
Thanks, Juan Pablo. The context here is clear. Art is being treated like physics or mathematics, as a subject to be memorized rather than lived. Students here tell us that this traditional approach suppresses the very creativity that is supposed to be developed. The problem is that art is a reflection of the human being, and when it is taught academically, it loses its meaning and its life-giving creativity. Let's hear the opinion of Ramon Chavez, an expert in philosophical thinking. Ramon, please tell us how the greats view this.
Well, Sofia, Friedrich Nietzsche is central here. He believed that instead of having or following rigid regimes or norms, we must become artists of our own life, principally by shaping our identity creatively. He argued that life should be seen as a constantly elaborate artwork, which gives a different foundation to human existence.
And he wasn't the only one, right?
Exactly. John Dewey also argued that education must be based on experience, not passive memorization. For Dewey, art is an active student must actively engage into contact learning with real life. On the other hand, we have Aristotle, who believed art's value lies in its ability to teach moral lessons through catharsis, or also by emotional understanding.
These philosophical theories rest on two primary ethical values: freedom and responsibility. When we talk about freedom, we recall Mahatma Gandhi's famous words: freedom is not worth having if it does not include the freedom to make mistakes. If we want the students to pursue their passions, they must be free to experiment through their own life experiences. Then there is responsibility. As Marcus Aurelius said, you have to assemble your life yourself, action by action. This means that the duty to become an artist of one's own life, as Nietzsche proposed, is a personal responsibility that requires us to make action for ourselves. Let's look at two sides of this debate. Jose Carlos, academic historian, join us now.
Thank you, JP. My argument is really simple. Artistic freedom is a great ideal, but it must be built on the study of tradition, techniques, and overall history. Without foundational knowledge, creativity has no language to speak.
But Jose, Nietzsche will counter that this foundational knowledge often becomes a contradictory tool. We should prioritize the sublimation and redirection of our life energy into the creativity rather than to other rote reproduction or technique.
That's a great idea, but the question is, how can one live art without understanding the moral purpose and education Aristotle spoke of? Tradition is, for me, the bridge to that understanding.
After evaluating these powerful arguments, our position is clear. We believe art should not be only as memorization, as that limits central meaning. However, academic knowledge is also important. Our conclusion is that art education must be balanced of theory and personal expression. This integrated approach is the only way to produce students who truly understand and live art. The position is ethically justified because it honors freedom by giving students the technical tools to avoid contradictory mistakes, and it honors responsibility by empowering them to assemble their own life choices, action by action. It moves us away from memorial study and toward a life where every choice is a creative act. For Sofia, Ramon, and Jose, and Juan Pablo, thank you for joining us as we explore the art of living.